What's going on, everybody? Come on in the room. I'm gonna need y'all help a little bit today. We're just cleaning up. We're just cleaning up. We're just cleaning up. Let me see if I can see if anybody's in this chat. I'm going to do my review for episodes 6 and 7 of Married to Medicine, but I need you all's help to tell me what y'all experience is with hearing me and the sound and all of that. While we clean this channel up. Okay, so listen. All right. You know I love that little song. I really do. I just love that song, honey. You know you just can't let it go. Can't let it go. When you're cleaning up, or when you're cleaning up, or when you're cleaning up, or when you're cleaning up. That's my stuff. Okay, listen. Okay, enough. All right, so here we go. This is, I'm on, child, y'all know we had some sound issues and all of that in the past week. So I told you all I was going to purchase a new laptop. So I purchased a new laptop. So I need your help at this point. That's why I came to do this live. You know, I don't usually do these live. I'm live. I need to know, how is the sound? How does things look? So the volume is on point, and don't let nobody tell you different. Oh, we got to take everybody to account. Okay, so seems as though everything is where it needs to be. Thank goodness. Okay, and we doing fine. Okay, sounds excellent. Good. And that's what the problem was. I was trying different mics and all this different stuff, trying to regulate it. I never once ignored you all. I was just trying to figure out what was actually going on. So, you know, that was truly the last thing that I wanted to do, was actually go buy a whole new laptop. But it is what it is, child. You do what you have to do to get it done. So here we is. And we doing fine. Okay, so let's get into this, because I've fallen behind in my travels of my Married to Medicine. So Married to Medicine, season 9, episode 6. So we're going back a week. I'm not gonna, y'all know I love this show. I love this show, so I'm not gonna skip an episode, and I'm not gonna do two separate reviews, because the truth of the matter was, episode 6 didn't have a whole lot. It was, you know, the girls are in Vegas. They've gotten to Vegas. Okay, good. Said the video's good too, Kimberly. Thank you, baby. All right, hey, Nappy Child. Okay, so we're here. They're at the table. They're playing Never Would I Ever. Okay, now Toya had dropped a little bomb. You know, Toya, when Toya's having a good time, Toya's funny. When she's having a good time, you know, when she's not having a good time, she about drives me nuts. But she was having a good time, and sometimes she'll do this a bit too much where she's having a good time. And poor thing, Eugene just catches it. He caught it the whole time they was in Vegas. But she was talking about having sex on the beach. It was never would I ever have sex on the beach. She said she did, and it was a wonderful experience, but it was not Eugene. It wasn't Eugene. And Quad was just kind of throwing it out, being funny. Like, she was just being funny. Like, I don't think she knew any tea. She was throwing it out there. And hell, Toya confirmed it. I said, oh. I said, oh, No, poor Grimace. I said, Lord, poor Eugene. Anyway, but she's, her little face lit all up like, oh, yeah, like whoever it was tore her at Penny. Got her little box right together. I said, okay. Anila. I think I like drunk Anila. I think I like Anila after a couple of drinks. Because you talk too much. After a couple of drinks, she bust out. She spoke too soon, talking about anal sex. She threw that out there, and everybody was kind of just looking like, okay. And she's like, yeah, girl, you spoke too soon. Then put your business out there. I said, oh, really now? So old boy be over there firing you up, huh? I said, oh, okay. Anyway, we'll burn that to memory. Anyhow, so that was that. Everything went really good. Jackie literally put them out because everything was going really, really good. And Jackie was like, scoot, scoot, get on out while y'all all still getting along. She put them out of her room. And it was a gorgeous, gorgeous room. She put them out. And they went and she said, we're going to meet for dinner. So when they met for dinner, the first thing that come to mind, I looked over there, my contestant, I don't know what's going on with you and hair this season, but you're really stepping out there and taking some chances with the hair stuff. And for the most part, it ain't paying off. And y'all know I love contestants. But some of these little, and they kept saying cotton candy hair. It was fun. It was fun. And this Chanel necklace on. And they were like, I don't know if I want to deal with Chanel. That's a whole nother broad. And she's like, oh, yes. Oh, yes. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. When I'm in Vegas, this is what I'm getting down. Y'all ain't messing with no doggone Contessa. This is Chanel. I said, oh, well, okay. And then we had another little headbang at the dinner table, again with this Audra and Toya. Audra has kind of took and owned some of that foolishness that came from Toya. And in Toya's defense, Audra, you just got to get to know Toya. It truly wasn't malicious. It was just Toya. But we know Toya. Audra doesn't know Toya. So, she explained, she did explain, and I was just kind of like, some people are going to accept that explanation and some people are not going to accept that explanation. I do like Audra. I found that I like Audra. I think she's pretty and I just like her. It's something about her. I just like Audra and I hope we get to see more of her. I like her because I'll throw Carrie Wells back with the luggage on the plane and take Audra any day. Any day. I don't know why Carrie Wells is still here. Like, whose friend is she? Is she friends with Andy or something? Girl, why is she here, Ike? Why is she here? I don't know what it is. And she just keeps coming back. I'm like, girl, you like an infection. You just keep coming back. I'm like, I don't know who. She's got to be somebody's friend up high. Some of the powers that be, she got to be friends with them because I don't see any real purpose for the lady. But whatever. Maybe somebody. Do some of y'all like her? I ain't like Carrie Wells since season 1. She just leave a taste in my mouth that I don't like. Just did like when she called the police on them. Not the police. She called the police. She called the police on them. Remember when Shoot Lucy and Mariah was fighting with Toya and they broke a little glass around her pool. I mean, what's the little broken glass between friends, honey? And she called the police. The police, honey. I said she was doing the most. Sweep up the glass and go on, honey. It was a little altercation. It wasn't no big thing. Thank you, Clark. Thank you so much, baby. It was just a little, what? No knockdown, drag out. It was just a little. She called the police. So from then, I ain't really cared for Carrie. I just felt like she was putting 20 on 10, doing too much, giving me Karen vibes. But her name is Carrie, but she was giving me Karen. I said, Anyway, moving on. Moving on. Ain't nobody saying nothing in the chat. So somebody might like her and just don't want to say, do why y'all like her, honey? Anybody know who she friends with, honey? Why do she keep showing back up like a bad rash, honey? Anyway, but I like Audra. Audra told Toya, because Toya said, it was like, seriously, when I said you were a bad lawyer, it was just a joke. It was a joke. I didn't mean much by it. I don't like Carrie or her lip. Baby, didn't Quad drag her, honey, on the very first episode? She thought she's going to talk some smack to Quad, honey. And Quad, that's when we first got to meet Quad, honey. And Quad came in, bopping in, like she didn't really fit in, honey. And she said some old smart stuff, honey. And Quad gave her, who are you talking to, honey? You talking to me? Girl, you in that mouth, honey? Get on out of here, honey. I said, oh, I like her, honey. She got Carrie right together, honey. Carrie's, she was never, she ain't my gig at all. Anyway. No, see, they called her the Crypt Keeper and all that. Y'all see, y'all doing a lot, okay? The Crypt Keeper. Anyway, I'll take that. I was going to do the laugh, honey. You know, remember that Crypt Keeper laugh? Oh, that little thing was so ugly. I know somebody that looked just like that thing right down here on YouTube. Looked just like it, honey, and just as drunk. Anyway, James, cut it out. Cut it out. Just drunk and ugly. You running all kinds down here on the YouTube, buddy. Be like, who are these people and why are they letting them in? Oh, they let you have an account? Oh, why? Anyway, moving on. This the clean channel. Moving on. I couldn't resist. And moving on. So, anyhow, that was shady, child. It was shady. Anyway, she told her, I am too African for that. Like, don't joke with me about my career and my career choices and all of that. Yeah, she just don't do it. I'm too African for that. I said, girl, now that all sound like a personal problem. But I do understand. I mean, if you know anybody African, of African descent, it's real serious. The career thing. Even like Wendy, when we see Wendy Osefo over on Real Housewives of Potomac, it's real, in their culture, it really is a big deal. So I got what she was saying, but I was like, girl, this is a mixture of everybody. This is not just African. This is everybody. So Audra, there's probably a lot of people that were sitting at home with you like, and what girl? So lighten up a little bit, Audra. We get you. We think you're beautiful. I think you're definitely show worthy, but I'm gonna need you to lighten up a little bit. And you need to know, Toya, that I call her the fry guy. Toya just a lot of talk. She ain't mean nothing by that. When she being nasty, I'll let you know. She wasn't being nasty. She was just chilling and being Toya. That wasn't nothing deep. So it didn't, it's fine. We're like, okay, let's move on. We're not going to make a stain over this. And we moved on, which I was happy about that. Next thing was really shocking. That doggone Jackie come up with a little small whip. And I know it has to have another name for it. I have to ask. I have a friend. I need to ask what that little whip is called. Because she said, and hit the table. I said, what you know about that, Jackie? What you know about that, man, Jackie? But they were like, Jackie. Vegas Jackie. I like Vegas Jackie. Vegas Jackie is a little bit looser than the other Jackie. They left from there. They went to the adult toy store and had a good time. They had a good time in there. Anila and Toya oversharing. Again, Quad did a lot of oversharing in these 2 episodes, and so did Toya and Anila. All 3 of them did a lot of oversharing. I was like, girl, okay. So, I mean, well, listen, Quad's single, so, it's all out here on film. So when you get whatever you get this time around, it shouldn't be no issues because you didn't put it out there what it is you need and what it is that you want. and what it is that you're not settling for anything else but this. So it shouldn't be an issue because you overshare, sister. I was like, listen, I'm here for you. You're young and beautiful, whatever. But yeah, they did. Anila and Toya was talking about this shower head situation. I was like, child, I come to y'all's house. I'm using the guest bathroom, honey. You then got way too personal with your shower head, honey. And look, I am LGBTQIAAAAA, honey, and I don't want no residue on me, honey. I respect your space, you respect mine. I don't want none. If I wanted some, I just go get some. I don't want none secondhand, flying off of no damn shower head in my face. No, it's too much. You're doing too much with the shower head. And she kept revisiting. Ooh, shower head. I said, hey, Toya, you might need to go get you a part-time job. You spending too much time with them, honey. Them boys is at school, and you over there terrible to the shower head, honey. I said, Never use the bathroom in their room, honey. You go to Toya's house, take your butt into the guest room and take a shower. Because if you don't, you're going to really know Toya up close and personal, honey. Like Toya. But moving on. And then Quad, we thought Quad just loves vibrators. I said, oh, wait a minute. Girl, you got an iPhone? Quad love vibrators. I said, girl, listen. Now I'm gonna throw this out there to you, Quad. You a businesswoman, fierce old nasty piece of businesswoman. You know how to grab something up from the ground and build. I'm going to say something to you. Come close, my love, and listen closely. Bedroom candy. Create your own. Because the love that you came through here with about vibrators, we sat and we watched Candy build bedroom candy. She literally has her own MLM. That's bad bitch status, okay? Bad bitch status. And that's because you know Candy loves, she liked the little dungeon and things. You have a love for vibrators. That is big business. Big business. Look, the ground has already been laid. The business plan is out there. You're right in Atlanta. You know Candy. Vibrators by Quad, honey. I'll be looking around. Anyway, now you heard what I said. Now you come out with vibrators by Quad, honey, and think you ain't gonna cut me a little piece of something, honey. No, that one's on the house. You can have that one. But vibrators by Quad, honey, honey, get busy, get to it. You a businesswoman, you know how to do it. Moving on. But my girlfriend was really, she really gave up her love of things that do like this in these 2 episodes. Okay, so that's that. Now, Anila, overshare. Baby, we came in from a commercial and caught a glimpse of Anila's room. You are a slob, ma'am. A slob. I said, when they flashed that camera in that room, I said, what? No wonder Karen always be fussing when your mother come to town. Because if this is what she allowed you to do, well, we see your mother dropping food on the floor and stuff, and Karen was about to have a conniption. Girl, you are a slob mistake. There was shit everywhere in that room. I said, oh my God. Horrible. Horrible, 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 horrible. There was stuff everywhere. It was like a teenage boy was staying in that room. What's the Neela girl? Get it together. Move on, honey. Toya and Simone was having a little conversation about Audra. Toya was talking to, Simone was basically talking at Toya and giving her the little hand slap about her back and forth with Audra. Said, you got to make a choice. Right now is when you make the choice. Do you really want to seek a friendship with her, or do you want to not be friends with her at all? Right now is, this time that we're spending is going to really tell the story of where y'all go. And I agree. I agree. I don't know what she ever actually did decide, because we didn't see much interaction with the two of them, but there were no pot shots made for the rest of the trip. But Toya didn't go out of her way to really bond that we saw anyway. So, maybe it's one of those situations where it's no shade, but I can take you or leave you. I'm the king of that, because I'm the king of, look, I ain't mad with you. I ain't got no issue with you, but I ain't got no use for you. So move it along. I'm the king of it. Julia, thank you so much, baby. Thank you. Look at that. Member for 13 months, honey. 13 months. Thank you, darling. Yeah, so that was that. That's what went down there. Then we go flash back home to Atlanta, and we see Lauren and Scott. I think this is the first time we've actually seen Lauren this season. Lauren is Contessa's oldest baby girl, and just adorable. Just adorable. We haven't seen her. And I'm like, it's amazing how these children grow so fast. You'd be like, where did the time go? Look at Alora. Like, Alora's a whole young lady now. And I remember when she was like, it's like she's a little girl. They just move so fast. But yeah, she is pretty. She's a pretty little thing. Baby, I said, oh boy. And Scott was fussing about her having this little makeup on. She just had a little lip gloss on, and I think maybe some eyeliner or something. And he was telling her, if mommy was here, would you do it? Maybe, maybe not. And what's your point? What is your point, Scott? But she's super cute. She's super cute. Let her put on her lip gloss. Just watch real close. That's all. It is what it is, child. Get with the program, Scott. Get with the program. Then we seen a scene of Dr. Damon. He's trying to teach Alora how to drive, and his nerves was bad. You can tell his nerves was bad. But she seemed to be doing okay. But just teaching her to drive, it was like his nerves was bad. That was pretty funny. Moving on. So the next day of the trip, now we're into Simone's day. This was Simone's day to plan. And Simone is messy. She's messy. She's still on the bull, She's still, her and Toya and Contessa still feel away about the whole situation with Heavenly. Let me see. LaVon said, I'm not sure Audra is open to friendship with Toya at this point. Right. It's really, nothing else was really said. You know what I mean? So I'm like, put it on ice. Put it on ice. It ain't bad. It ain't good. It ain't nothing. Just put it on ice. That's where I left it. Simone ushered in the conversation about the whole Heavenly Contessa thing. Child, so it comes out, it's an issue, but Heavenly saying, you're mad at me for repeating things that are already out there. Guess what, Heavenly? Yes. And I don't know why you don't get it. But Heavenly was, Heavenly gets in her bag. Heavenly don't want to get it. But I mean, there is something to that. There's something to it. I don't want my friend pushing a narrative about me, whether it's true or false. That don't feel good. People who don't know you or don't like you, who's doing it, that's fine. But somebody that you are friends with, what sense does that make that your friend is out there pushing a narrative about you? Why? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? That's just like with the YouTube stuff, with that doxing. When someone gets doxed, it's bad. Their personal information is out there. Most of the time, when they're being doxed, it's some stuff that is public record, but that's okay. It's public record, but people didn't see it. So whoever ain't liking you throws it out there. Now, the last thing I need is somebody that I call myself cool with on YouTube going live with the information saying, well, I didn't dox you, so-and-so doxed you. No, what happened was you re-doxed me, because now you have a whole new audience that may not have ever seen the video put out by the other person. And now here you are pushing it forward. And when that's your friend doing it, no, it doesn't feel good. And I don't know why Heavenly just, well, I do know why. She's being bullheaded. She didn't get it because she didn't want to get it. But that's what the whole thing is. They're all, yes, we know these things are being said, Heavenly, but it don't feel good when you're on here saying it. It doesn't feel good. So I definitely, I get it. I understand it. I understand it. So moving on. The next thing I know, honey, it is a screaming match. Heavenly jumps up and she is just screaming, everybody talks about everybody. That's deflection. Deflection from the fact that you know you're wrong. You wrong as two left shoes in the wrong size. You know you're wrong, and you just don't want to be right. And you just screaming and yelling. That damn Dr. Jackie said, ooh, baby, premenopause. I said, oh, God. It ain't funny, but it was funny. I was like, oh, okay. I said, no, Jackie. I told you, Vegas Jackie funny. Vegas Jackie is funny. And then they end up separating them out. And it's crazy because, you know, they're both so animated, them two, that if you don't know them, you would really think that they was going to get the fight. Child, there were some little women over on the side like this, honey. Said, child, that's just them. They both loud, baby. They're not going to fight with each other. So you can turn that camera off, you nebby old raggedy whores. Mind your business. Turn around and eat your crab cakes and shut your face. They're not going to fight. They're doctors. They ain't doing no fighting. What are you, foolish? They just making noise. Shut on that. Mind your business. Them people had me mad over there. I said, look at them. Look at them. I said, somebody will throw some breadsticks at them. But when all that was going on, Tori was sitting over there eating, like, her and this bacon. She had this thing going on about bacon. Like, she's like, I have to have bacon. I kind of understand. I love bacon. Bacon is so good. It really is. I prefer bacon over like sausage and other meats. Country ham is good, but bacon is where it's at. But Tori was over there eating, and she's like, y'all can scream all y'all want. She know they ain't gonna fight y'all. So she's sitting there. Call just looking at them. Then they all get up and they're all trying to separate them out. It was just a big mess. It was big. Will Vaughn say Dr. Jackie deflects in her own shady way. Absolutely. That's the Dr. Jackie way. So that was that. You know, it went on too long because it started to make me uncomfortable because, you know, I like them all. So it kind of, this show is like rough because I really do kind of like everybody. You know, sometimes Toya drives me crazy. But since Mariah left, the only person that really gets underneath my skin is that Karen Wells, her. But other than that, everybody else that kind of come through, I'll be like, okay, I'll be wanting to see them fighting like that. And I hate to see the guys fighting. That whole Karen thing with Eugene, I was like, oh, okay, knock it off. Knock it off. Let's go have some fun. Anyway, so all that took place. Then they were separated out. Anila, they went to Heavenly, Anila, and trying to think who else it was. Was it Audra? No. Maybe it was Audra. Three people. It was three people. It was Anila, Heavenly, and one other person went to Anila's room and they had some shots and stuff. And then the rest of them were going out to get their stuff together and get into the car to go to the next place. And when they got there, things had kind of calmed down some, and they were like, well, we don't want to leave anybody. We want everybody to go. So they end up FaceTiming Heavenly, and Heavenly didn't answer Simone at first. So they was like, oh, God, here we go. Screw up the trip. But it was Audra. Okay, thank you, LH. I couldn't remember. I remember it was the third person. Chopping 2 weeks ago. But anyway, so they were in the car, and then Heavenly called back. And she's like, no, we're coming. Come on, just give us a second. We're coming. So they came down, and Contessa was like, oh, no, I'm fine. Everything's going to be okay. You know, everything like that. It was a moment. It was a moment, and it passed, and that was that. Because them two really are friends. They really do They love each other, and they just in a bad spot right now. But they came down, and everybody was happy again. That was it for episode 6. On to episode 7. More Vegas. Oh, they actually, well, yeah, that ain't it. I just kind of just cut it short. Listen, they went ziplining. That's how I feel about ziplining down on Fremont Street. Woo, doggy. I was the purse holder myself. When we were down there on Fremont, honey, 2 times I went down there and friends of mine got up there, honey, and they, woo, yeah, okay. I wear contact lenses, honey. You're not going to take me from one hotel down to the other hotel, fly me through the sky, honey, with my fat behind, honey, and then somewhere down the way, my contacts dry out, pop out, and I don't need none of that in my life at all. Hey, not at all. They zip line. I thought Quad's eyelashes was about to come off, honey, because they was giving this, honey. And it's like, y'all, these eyelashes and wigs and things flying through the sky. Y'all got it. They had fun with it. They had a good time. Toya, poor thing. I felt for Toya because Toya was crying. She just was not going to be outdone. See, that's the whole immature part of Toya. That's the immature part of Toya that is cute. That's the part that just when Toya gets on your nerves so badly that you be ready to cut her loose, it shines through and you be like, she ain't all that bad. Come on over here and get a hug. I'll take it, give you a hug and give you a noogie. Because that thing had literal tears coming down, but she was not going to be outdone. That's when I see that Toya, that reminds me of her 2 boys. Her boys, that's the part of her that they got, because them boys is bad. They bad, and they just don't be wanting to be outdone. They just gonna do their stuff. They've been walking counters and carrying on ever since we known them. Just bad, honey. Bad and fun to watch. They cute as they can be, but they bad as hell. But that's the part of Toya I see in her boys. But she cried, and then she was like, okay, and she did it. You better than me, Toya, because I would have been crying, baby. I would have been down on the bottom. I didn't even walk up the steps. You understand? I was the official purse holder, Fremont Street walker with all that shit because I was not getting up there. It's oh well, just go. Oh no, I'm not coming up them steps. Child. I'll see you when I see you, possibly down the other end. Out I'm walking. I'm walking. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Baby, I walked down Fremont Street, honey, and stopped and walked and sipped and stopped and walked and sipped. And by the time they got done being stupid and being hung from the ceiling, honey, I was feeling all right, honey. Good times, honey. Anyway, so moving on. Now we're going into episode 7, season 9. We're still here in Vegas. This is the night after the zipline and foolishness. We're going to dinner. Going to dinner. Beautiful, beautiful restaurant. Just gorgeous. And I thought it was so cool that, these restaurants and things really, from the show, they're really, it's like advertisement that you can't buy. You know what I mean? It's wonderful. But I thought it was a nice touch that the guy who owns the restaurant was actually there working, and he actually came out, introduced himself. He sat the ladies himself. I said, nice touch, fella, nice touch. His name is Barry. That's what I'm talking about. That's the way you represent. Came out, sat, he handled their table himself and all of that. So that was really, really cool. I kind of hated the fact that they kept saying, oh, yes, this is expensive. Oh, yes. And then they said something about the one of the items that they were buying. Oh, yes, they cost this. And I was like, okay, now let me just stop you now. That's tacky. That's tacky. And you're hearing it from me. That's tacky. Rich people don't talk about prices. Rich people don't try to convince you that things are expensive. You know what's expensive. Even if you're not a person with money, you know expensive from not expensive. Everybody knows the steakhouse from McDonald's. You don't have to say it's expensive. So when I see people doing that, it just kind of it irritates me. It grinds my nerves. It grinds my nerves. And we know for a fact, Simone, we know you got you couldn't drive a Maserati. We know you got money. We know, girl, you had 2 whole houses, like nice houses, because you and him wasn't getting along. Y'all living on different sides of town and nice. We know you got money. You don't have to tell us you have money. It makes you look crazy. And it grind my nerves. Y'all know I love me some Simone, but it grinded my nerves. I was like, ah, I didn't like that. But anyway, moving on. So everything was cool. That dog on, listen. Here we go again with Contessa and the big, what's his name? What's the guy? The real cute guy, the trainer. They showed him in the morning calling. This one calling the husband, that one calling the husband, then one calling their kids. Contessa called the trainer. I said, what you doing, Contessa? I'm picking. Her and Scott is fine. But for real though. Oh, I don't blame you. Greta called him too, and I be calling him all the time, buddy. But she sure was on the phone with that little man, honey. And I don't know what you was calling for because you wasn't doing nothing that you was supposed to be doing. You messy heifer. You was over, girl, you down to the Vegas eating up everything. The one place they went, like, can we take this home? Jack said, no. We didn't take no takeout. No. She eating up everything. You know she getting ready for fitness competition. She eating everything. And that's what we see her. Listen, Contessa of this trip, Contessa is the Candy of this trip. Because you know, anytime we see Candy on a scene where there's some food, you see Candy like this. Most of the time in the housewives things, the food is just there as decoration. Shit. Candy Burris on set, baby, it's all a chew fest, honey. Candy like her food and she gonna eat. Period. That's why I say I don't know how she keep that body snatched, because she snatched, built like a brick shit house. But baby, Candy be chewing every time there's a dinner. So I said, girl, hey Candace. I was dying. But Contessa, you was giving Candy a run for her money, baby, because there was not a plate or a dish being served that you weren't taking advantage of, girl. And I'm just gonna have a little bit of wasn't no arguing going on, honey, when the food was on the table, girl, because you eating it. I said, look at her, funny. And really, I mean, come on, again, because Contessa's built like a brick shit house too, so there ain't gonna be no real issue. I'm just picking at her. But anyway, so they sit at the dinner table, and here they go. Always these leading questions. They start asking these questions. Here go Quad again. I said, girl, if you don't go on and get this little sex toy vibration business off the ground, honey, Miss honey, she's talking, I like a little light pressure around the neck. You see, I got a choker on in her confessional. She had this whole Versace-esque situation going on in her confessional with this. I said, Quad, sit down. Sit down. I done gave you what to do for free. Get it. Vibrators by Quad. Coming soon to a store near you. Anyway, Heavenly. There was a question about, would you marry a man that didn't have the money that you've married into? Child, Toya was like, oh yeah, I would. Heavenly was like, girl, we said Quadator setting. Girl, she said, you damn well would not marry no man without no money. And listen, I have to agree. I don't believe you, Toya. I don't believe you would. And Eugene, no, you wouldn't. I don't believe that you would marry Eugene if he didn't have money. I just don't. Sorry. So they actually had asked, what are you surprised with once you actually moved in with your husband? What about them surprised you the most? That damn Toya bust. I said, here she go again, giving Eugene the bad edit, honey. She said, I was surprised that his penis wasn't going to get no bigger. I said, oh, girl, she socked him in the back and in the gut. I said, Toya, Toya. And you don't see no issue about what that damn quad. When I tell you that quad had her a couple of drinks, honey, and that thing was just as tickled with that, honey. Child, she was like, they done gave Eugene that itty bitty teeny weeny Eugene, honey. They were screaming, and I was like, oh my God. Child, they did Grimace bad, honey, on the track. I said, oh, Toya. And I wrote it right here in my notes. Quad needs a sex toy line. I literally have wrote it in my notes. So I'm real serious about that. Vibrators by Quad, honey. Girl, get on it, honey. Get on it. Anyway, next thing they do, they said they're going to have some dessert. And out comes Barry again. I said, there you go. Do your business, Barry. But Barry bring out stacks of money, baby. Stacks of money. Everybody get a stack of money. And they said, we're going down to the strip club. I said, oh, okay. So that was, listen, I was here for it. I don't even have a whole bunch to say about the strip club, but they had a good time. A good time down to the strip club. A really good time. Of course, they filmed Heavenly. You know, the guys that took Heavenly up, they all got around her and they filmed Heavenly. And it was like, let's do a little 4-minute video, honey, and let's load it to our channels. I said, oh, just a mess. Just a mess. A mess. Just to pick at her a little bit, but you know, it was really lighthearted. It was lighthearted shade. Yeah, it was just cool. It wasn't really, you know, I was like, when they was doing the little previews, I was like, is that Bolo? I was like, you know, I like Bolo. That Bolo is bad, honey, but I was like, no, that ain't Bolo. Somebody named King. I said, okay. King was cute. He was cute. King had them all, child. When he walked up there, it's like, is that his? Ooh! I said, why you think they called him King, honey? His name was King. Cute little thing. Cute little thing, honey. He carried low, he carried heavy, honey. I said, okay, we like all that. Hey, King. Anyway, but I thought it was Bolo at first. I was like, King was cute, but he ain't no Bolo, honey. Anyway, Anila, you nasty heifer. They were in the, again, they in the car. That Quad's back to drunk. Quad throwing shade and laughing. She's still laughing about Eugene and his little. And Toya saying, my husband's not small. He got just enough to satisfy this. I said, just stop talking about a fry guy. Because first of all, what I don't need is no visual picture stuck in my head about Eugene, period. And I think Eugene's a cute man. I really do. I think Eugene's just as cute as he can be, you know, but I don't need no visual of you. I don't look at Eugene like that. And I don't want to look at Eugene like that. But that damn Quad was back there kikiing and cackling back. Do you hear me? I said, girl, don't start. Because, you know, Toya B done got mad at you, honey. But Toya, you started it. You the one that gave Eugene the little ding-a-ling edit, honey. Any, meeny, teeny, weeny, shriveled little short man. Anyway, you did that. Anyway, Anila, she out there, they say something about Karen. She done already told, listen, Karen is long, strong, and be tearing me down, honey. And in the midst of her telling them that heifer pissed on herself, I said, she said, oh, I peed. I said, ain't nothing worse than an old nasty piece of pissing drunken heifer. Pissy. Listen, I got a shirt right over there at SpillitBoyTV.com that says drunks stand in piss. Go on over there and get y'all one, honey. It's a cute little gold and black shirt, honey. It's available. Drunks stand in piss. When I created it, I meant it. It wasn't a joke. It was for real. Drunks stand in piss. Stand on up, Anila, you nasty little something, honey. At first I was trying to figure out, I said, is she joking? She said, I'm sweating. No, you're not sweating. You pissed. Like you said, you laughed a little bit and you pissed. And it was, and the worker was, I said, okay, Karen. Okay, Karen. And then here comes Jackie with the damn public service announcement. Talking about, well, if things are too big, it really can. Jackie, just shut up, because you're not making it no better. You're not making it no better. She already told us that Karen be knocking her down. And then the proof was in the pudding. No, the proof wasn't in the pudding. The proof was in the piss. The proof was in the piss. That's another t-shirt. The proof was in the piss, honey. I said, no, she didn't. Get on there and piss down her leg. And then sat in there and was wiping down her leg. I said, oh. So you done pissed on yourself. Now you going on to the strip club. And you think somebody going to be picking you up. Ain't nobody picking you up. You flinging piss. It's too much. Anila, overshare. Overshare, overshare, overshare. Moving on. Y'all got her. Y'all can have her. Anyway, moving on. The guys are over there in Atlanta doing a boxing outing. Child, listen. They all was too old for what was really going on. They had this little young trainer, and honey, he was child, they was trying to do it. They was keeping up at first. Baby, when it was all over, every last one of them was laying out like dominoes, honey. I said, he done wore y'all's ass out, honey. Hilarious. And they start talking, they're teasing about when Karen and Eugene wasn't doing good. It's like, glad they said if we came here as opposed to going to the axe throwing, it might have ended up differently. And now Eugene wants to say, I'm not a guru at boxing. I've done it a few times. I said, no, he ain't telling you nicely. Trying to tore Karen's ass up. I was like, listen, whatever, honey. Whatever. I was like, okay. And Karen was like, they said, you still think that stuff is funny? Karen gonna say, no. He ain't want none of the smoke. I was like, girl. But listen, all jokes aside, we all know that a black man will knock the shit out of you. I'm going there. This is going to be not politically correct, okay? This, y'all get mad if y'all want. I'm going to say it. I'm saying it. We all know when your back is against the wall and some stuff go down, black men are known for knocking the shit out of you. They do. They don't do no whole lot of talking. They don't do no whole lot of back and forth with you. You'll be, you be thinking you be turning it out, honey, and you think you're going to tongue wrestle, and before you know anything, the shit has truly been knocked out of you. Now, that's how black men do what they do, okay? But see, on the other hand, when we saw what we saw in the last thing, it was a little more comfortable for Karen. See, don't y'all sleep on Karen, because Middle Eastern men have a tendency to cut your damn head off. So don't sleep on Karen. That's why I said this ain't going to be politically correct. See, people be playing all these little games they be playing, and here we go into the real world. So, like I said, a black man will knock the shit out of you, but like Middle Eastern men, yeah. You go into like those 7-Elevens or those late night stores, where stuff be going down. Indian men, same thing. You go into them stores, you go into the wrong store, they pull a shotgun from behind the counter. Go down south, acting a fool. They go pull a shotgun from behind the counter. Now, I live in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, New York, all these little places, honey. You look up, did y'all ever notice? You don't be seeing them pulling no gun from behind the counter. They do not, they don't play, because you ain't going to do them but so much. You ain't going to give them too much of what you give before they give you what they got for you. But what do they generally come out? Now, y'all, we in the chat here. Do anybody want to take a shot at what it is they come out of the back with? Because in a black people's store, you act it up, they come out with a gun, probably a handgun. Further south you go, there will be a shotgun. They come out from behind the counter. Do you want to take a shot at what they come out with? LaVon, thank you so much. They come from behind the goddamn shelf with a machete, like goddamn on Jason Voorhees. So it don't sleep on Karen. And Karen is actually a plastic surgeon. He good with his blade. He good with his blade, and he slays his wife, honey. Got her pissing down her leg. Don't sleep on Karen. But they were at the axe throwing place. Karen was just as comfortable with that axe throw. I said, see, I was being nice. I wasn't going to say it because I said that ain't politically correct. Shut your mouth. You're going to get yourself in trouble. But look, I'm here and it's live. I can't edit it out. I said it. I said it. Eugene was comfortable over at the boxing because he'll knock the shit out of Karen. Karen was comfortable over at the axe store because he'll cut his goddamn head. It is what it is. I like, child, you know I specialize in boys, honey. I like boys. I be paying attention to boys and what they be doing. Girls too. All for different reasons. But anyway, let's move on before I get myself into some more trouble. I told you it wasn't going to be politically correct. Anyway, so that was that. Thank God everything is okay between Karen and Eugene. And we don't have to have no axes thrown, no machetes pulled, no shotguns, no punches in the face, no nothing. Everybody cool. The shit ain't funny. And, you know, it wasn't funny. It ain't funny. It ain't funny. And that's fine. Okay, next day, the girls they was tore up. So Dr. Heavenly had actually set up, they have this big old breakfast plan. Dr. Heavenly sets up an IV refresh service, and they were doing the IVs with the vitamins and stuff in it. Not a fan. Not a fan. When I see that, I kind of cringe a little bit. When I see that, I don't, not a fan. Listen, I went through chemo. So, you know, as soon as I see an IV pole, I'll be like, get the hell away from me with that shit. So it might just be a personal thing. When I see the IV pole, I ain't volunteering for no unnecessary IV. I'll just be a drunk bitch. I'll deal with it, girl. Give me a little headache. No, Eddie. So that might just be me personally. You know what I mean? So I was like, woo, okay. Anyway, and I don't think everybody did it either, but it was what it was. They made sure they had the bacon for Toya and all that. And then, right when you least expected it, it ushered in naturally and smoothly the actual intervention. The actual intervention that they tried to set up on Dr. Heavenly, it kind of just happened. And it happened. Nobody was pushing it forth or anything like that. It just happened. Yeah, that was Eugene and Toya's little thing they was trying to do before LaVon. I was like, ugh, when they were doing it, I was like, like that shit. But yeah, it just kind of ushered right on in. And Shasha said, you ain't no politician, just talk. Okay. So it ushered in, and they had a moment where everybody really got out what they had to say. Nobody lost any eyelashes. No one's hair was pulled. You know, it didn't put Heavenly on the defense, and she just said, listen, I really didn't know it bothered you that badly. You know, I wouldn't do that. I didn't want to hurt you. I was having fun. So I was having fun. And then once it all started going down, I'm laughing because I don't know what to do. And she even offered, that goes back to my childhood. I got some trauma that I'm dealing with, and I probably will always deal with it. But she apologized and, Contessa, old hard Contessa said, honey, don't stop that crying. She said, stop that crying. You're going to make me cry. Just knock it off. Child. And she went over there. She hugged her. And I said, that's what we've been waiting on. She went over there and hugged her and told her, I love you. I love you. I really, I appreciate you saying that. What you say, Dineva gets them all the time and swears by them. Okay. It gives me the willies. I don't know. But I've heard people, they say that they be feeling so much better, but I'm like, child, listen, I don't know, honey. I don't. Remember what they used to do back in the day? Shit, you get a beer. You be all drunk up, and then you be having a hangover. You drink a beer, honey, and you be all right. Go get some more liquor. Anyway, anybody don't told you to go get no IV. Get you a Schlitz malt liquor. That's what you get, honey. And look out for the bull, honey. That's what you do. I don't know IV, but anyway, it really fixed itself. Everybody said their piece, and that was it. And it was the perfect end to a perfect girls trip to Vegas, and they wrapped it up real nice in a bow, like it sort of like the way that they wrap up the end of a season. I said, well, that was a good trip. That's literally been about one of the best trips that I've actually seen in a long time. Not too many snafus, they was loud. They was real embarrassing. It was embarrassing me a little bit over at that thing when the people were sitting over there looking at them. I wanted to smack them ladies' cameras off. Put them cameras away, nappy heifers. But other than that, really good, really a good time. Went off without a hitch. I thought it was good. Now, that's it. They boarded up, heading on back to Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm all caught up now, and I'll see y'all in a couple of days for the next episode. I'm back on track, so we won't be late. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Thank y'all for helping me with the sound and the video and all of that stuff. I appreciate it. And listen, have a good weekend. Have a good weekend, and I will talk to you all soon, soon, soon. This has been Married to Medicine, Season 9, Episodes 6 and 7, late on 6. And that's it, and I'm out of here. Catch y'all later. Bye, y'all.